For this lesson, I'm working with the project file 0702 Add Visual Effects. You'll find this project file with the media associated with this lesson. Just double-click on it to open it in Premiere Pro. As well as transition effects, there are many visual effects available, some with more practical and some with more creative results. You apply all standard effects in the same way. Let's find out how. I'm working here with a sequence called Going Home. We've got a lot of great visuals, and in particular at the beginning of the sequence we've got a simple title in the foreground and a shot of a forest in the background. I'll just play a little section of this so you can see what's going on. I think it'd be interesting if we could make the background shot behind the title a little blurry. That'll help to focus the audience's attention on the titles. I'm going to the Effects panel, and I'm expanding Video Effects and Blur and Sharpen, and I've got a number of blur effects available. I want to draw your attention in particular to some of these markings next to the effects. The first one on the left, this Go Faster arrow, indicates that your graphics card can do the work of playing back the visual effect. The end result is that it's a little bit quicker and you won't need to pre-render or pre-process the effect to see it. If this icon is grayed out on your system, it's because you don't have the kind of graphics card that can accelerate playback in that way. Don't worry, the result is the same, but you'll need to press the Enter key on your keyboard to prepare the shot for playback if you want to see it on your computer screen. At the top of the Effects panel there's a search box, and in fact if I collapse this Video Effects category and click into the search box and type the word blur, all of the effects that contain that name are displayed. It's a quick way to find an effect if you know the name and don't want to browse for it. I'm going to drag the Gaussian blur onto this clip, and you can see the effects badge lights up to show an effect has been applied. And nothing's going to happen to the clip initially because, like most effects, the Gaussian blur effect doesn't make changes until you set them. You may decide that you prefer to use a different blur, and the only way to find out is to experiment with them. Anyway, for now I'm going to go to the Effects workspace, and this is going to put the Effects panel over on the right along with a number of other panels I might want to work with, and it's going to open up the Effect Controls panel on the left. The focus here is very much on the clips on the timeline that I'm working with. With the clip selected on the timeline, I can see the effect controls for that clip, including this Gaussian blur I just applied. I'm going to drag on the number here for the blurriness, and notice that every control here has a reset button. If I click, this goes back to 0. I'll just undo that with Ctrl Z here on Windows. That'll be Command Z on Mac OS. And you'll notice there's some darkening around the edges of the frame here. That's a consequence of the way blurs are calculated. I can get rid of that by turning on the Repeat Edge Pixels option. Of course, different effects have different options, and these options are fairly simple. But whichever effect you apply, you're going to find all of the controls here inside the Effect Controls panel. If I want to remove the effect, I can select it and press Delete. And of course I can restore that by undoing, by pressing Ctrl Z here on Windows or Command Z on Mac OS. It's easy to remove effects, so it's safe to try as many as you like before deciding on the final result. I'll play a little bit. And I think that works. I'm going to go back to the editing workspace and carry on working on my project. With so many effects to choose from and so many third-party effects you can install, it might take time to decide on your favorites. Now that you know how to add, adjust and remove effects, the best thing to do is try others.